Welcome everybody to the Strategy Meltdown podcast.
We're off to a great start.
Yeah, all right.
I'm your host, Alex.
It sounded like you were about to say, "I'm your whore, Alex." I was like, okay, uncalled for, sir. Right. So,
I mean, who knows what you do for money?
I would do anything for the certain amount of money. Let's be honest. Everyone's got their price. I'm just honest about it.
$2 whole.
Two? You kidding me?
A half-eaten fry from McDonald's.
Yeah, that's at least a candy bar.
What do I look like? One of your high dollar escorts? Ah.
Is this recording, by the way, or?
Oh yeah, it's recording. We got this on
Okay,
footage.
good.
Yeah, you better hope we got this on footage. If we didn't get this on footage, we would start recording right now and then recite it again.
Yeah.
We'd have to go back and fix it. Like, no, Addy, you didn't say this at this point. Let's go back, change it. You forgot your lines.
Guys.
All right. So, did you know we're supposed to actually talk about topics on this podcast?
I had
Not,
no
not
idea.
according to the description. The job description.
Yeah, the job description when we sent out the little letters. Yeah, hey, want to come here and join our podcast? You don't even have to be entertaining. Just show up.
That's what I did.
That's how we
I've
used to run the
done
old
those things.
podcast.
I mean, hey, for the past year, I've done nothing but freaking stumble over my words and laugh. So you know.
Right, and we're getting better at it. Now we can stumble over our words at double speed.
Yeah. Especially if you go and press the YouTube replay to do the podcast at double speed.
All right, so hey, we got topics. Fun fact, did you know that our little community, we usually forget about on these videos, our little community here, even going back to the old Shut Your Mouth Lounge podcasts, assembled to actually talk about wrestling video games.
Yeah.
And since then, everyone's sort of falling out, so we don't give a shit anymore.
It's not that we all fell out or anything. It's that like nobody's able to make the show anymore.
It's like what Ronald Reagan said about the Democrat Party. I didn't leave the Democrat Party left me.
Yeah.
We didn't leave WWE Games, WWE Games left us. Right, so they've announced the showcase mode for this year's game. It is unfortunately existent.
Indeed.
And it will be focusing on Daniel Bryan's career.
Yes, indeed. What's really interesting here is that Daniel Bryan just recently came out of retirement.
Oh shit,
So,
he did?
Exactly when did they decide that the showcase mode was going to be their mode, and did that coming out of retirement kind of screw things up? That's what I want to know.
No, in the end, the showcase mode just turns into universe mode where you play as Daniel Bryan.
GM Daniel Bryan. That's how they introduced GM mode back into the series.
Oh, did they take Universe mode out?
No, Universe is still in.
Oh, thank God. I was about to say, like, okay, I'm burning down 2K.
Yeah. If they were to remove Universe mode, I would not buy the game at all.
Well, I'm not buying the game
Universe-
regardless, but hey.
To play it.
I haven't had the money to buy the game for the past like 5 years. I'm not gonna start now. The only reason I even have 2K16 is because Xbox gave it to me for free.
Yeah.
I think I have 2K17, and it's just because Steam put it on sale with all the DLC for $20, and that was a fucking steal. And I'll also say it wasn't worth it. I have not got my $20 worth out of that game, especially because like all the DLC characters are these fucking no-name goobers like Blake and Murphy, who we've talked about before on the podcast, being my regular guys of who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, all the DLC characters are no names like The Rock
Yeah.
and John Cena.
Right. So the inevitable thing to talk about with this showcase mode is, like, firstly, they've confirmed it's only 11 matches, which is that really absurdly low compared to the previous showcases?
Compared to the Austin showcase, I'd say that's incredibly low. Because,
What?
geez, how many matches were in that one?
Now,
Well, yeah, but Austin's went through like three different promotions. Daniel Bryan's will be lucky to go through ROH, I think.
Oh, hell no, they can't touch ROH. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Or what I'm trying to say, rather.
Yeah. Has WWE bought TNA's backlog yet? Because didn't he, like, wrestle a dark match for TNA or something yet?
They've not purchased it yet. I think TNA is still kind of running. Highly stressed kind of running.
Didn't they change their name to, like, GWO or something?
No, it's Impact now. It was Global Wrestling something or other. It was freaking Jeff Jarrett's money laundering scheme. The wrestling show.
They had like a
And,
partnership with
GFW. Yeah. And then they changed it to Impact.
Yeah, GFW and TNA had a falling out. No surprise there.
Yeah, well, they've had a falling out with everyone they've worked with in, like, the last 5 years, haven't they?
Yes.
Because I remember an era where... I remember there was, like, an era in TNA, the era of Billy Corgan.
Yes.
That fucking nut job.
And now he's running the NWA.
He is?
He is.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I mean, I know I know NWA is nothing nowadays, but still.
Yeah. He didn't get to run Impact the way he wanted to, and after Impact canned him, he went over and bought the NWA.
Oh, wow. He just bought it?
Yeah.
Well,
I can't imagine it cost all that much, because frankly, I wasn't even aware that it had still existed at the time.
Oh, yeah, the NWA still exists. Wasn't TNA part of the NWA in its early years?
Yes.
Yeah, and they had the NWA title, and R-Truth was NWA champion for a little bit. That was
Didn't
weird.
they unify it after a point to make the unified TNA championship or whatever the hell?
Yeah, but I'd imagine NWA walked that back after they and TNA split.
Yeah.
Right. So this Daniel Bryan showcase mode, like, I do want to raise the question of was WWE 13's Attitude Era mode and WWE 2K14's WrestleMania mode, were they considered to be showcase modes?
Yes.
Because
I know 30 Years of Mania was a showcase mode and advertised as such. I don't recall as to if the Attitude Era mode from 13 was or was not.
The Attitude Era mode wasn't advertised as a showcase mode, but it was more or less the same thing, so who cares?
Yeah, basically.
Because I remember those modes went on for fucking ever. Because, like, you had, like, I remember with the Attitude Era one, it's like you had 10 matches as Rock, you had 10 matches as Foley, 10 matches as Austin, 10 matches as Hunter, and then you had, like, an extra set of, like, 30 bonus missions where you'd play as Edge or Vader or something, you know?
Yep.
So just 11 altogether?
Yeah. I believe it's 11 and then one bonus match.
Right. They have a hypothetical match?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan against his injuries.
Yeah.
He's just fighting a floating knee cap in the fucking ring.
Yeah.
It's all this time.
He's fighting a floating neck brace.
Yeah.
What we have seen though is they're going deep for this one. I'll have to admit, like, that is the one thing I appreciate here is that they went deep enough to get the dark match versus Cena from like 2003, right?
Yes, it did.
Right, so you can have
Banana Pants Cena.
Yeah, I was about to say Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch Cena. And, you know, you get Daniel Bryan with no facial hair, which is like one of the 8 hidden legendary myths of the world.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan without facial hair is the newest legendary Pokemon.
I was imagining like the new legend like Bigfoot. If you go to a certain patch of the woods at the right time, you'll find a hillbilly that claims to have seen Daniel Bryan without facial hair.
It was actually a shaved goat.
Have I mentioned that there's a fucking there's like a shop that sells statues just down the road from my house and from my
Daniel Bryan without facial hair.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. But no, that doesn't exist. So instead they have a big fucking statue of Bigfoot out front, and I guess they got it for sale or something, but it's just a big fucking statue of Bigfoot. And every time we pass by it, like, it's been there for like 3 or 4 years now, probably, and I assume 3 or 4 years, we've only lived here for 2, but... And it's not moved a fucking inch. Nobody has bought it, it's just there. And it's the weirdest thing to see passing by every time, because it's like, Who the fuck would buy a Bigfoot statue?
Yeah, what are you gonna do with a Bigfoot statue?
One day
Scare hillbillies, probably.
Yeah.
One day you go by and the statue will be gone, but the stand will be there. The stand that the statue was on.
It got up and left.
It'll be like a slasher film setup. You just see the owner smash through the front window. Can we make that canon now that Daniel Bryan is Bigfoot?
No, Daniel Bryan with that facial hair is Bigfoot.
Daniel Bryan is Bigfoot. Ric Flair is Con Raw. Let's keep going. John Cena is Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch.
and Matt Hardy is Shang Tsung.
Yeah, Matt Hardy is Shang Tsung. That's a great one. I forgot about that one for a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty damn good.
What would that make Jeff? Quan Chi?
Well, I guess Quan Chi would be the closest thing to it, but I feel like that's giving Jeff too much credit.
Yeah.
Jeff is closer to, like, what's one of Shang Tsung's shittier minions? Like, Jeff is Reptile. He's Reptile, because Reptile's the more agile of the two. And he's always green. Jeff Hardy's always green.
That is true.
Jeff Hardy is Reptile. Alright, well, that was stupid. So, yeah, the Daniel Bryan Showcase mode, they've set it up now where it's probably getting screwed by the WWE, because now Daniel Bryan's coming out of retirement, which is a recurring theme with these games, if you noticed. Every fucking year, WWE does something to fuck over the game. Remember, WWE 12 came out perfectly at the time where Cody Rhodes took off his mask?
Yep.
And you could play as Cody Rhodes without the mask, but you couldn't change his entrance, so he was still dashing.
Yeah.
Or mask.
You also could. That was also back when you couldn't change the attires in Universe mode. So if you wanted to have dashing Cody Rhodes in your Universe mode, you'd have to edit every match yourself.
Oh man.
By the way, W, you meant undashing. That was the masked era, Cody.
The unmasked Cody would use the dashing entrance.
That was left in. Oh, right. Before 2K era, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, like real old, like that was even before you were on the forum, I think. Because, shit, that would, Day 12 would have been the time,
That was 2011, that's when I started watching wrestling, so yeah.
That was also when I started watching wrestling, and I believe I joined the forum around the time of Day 13's release, yeah.
Yeah, I joined 414. Well, I wanted to join 414, and then 2K wouldn't send me a confirmation email, so I just waited until we moved.
Oh man, I remember one that was real weird. When Day 12 added Brodus Clay as DLC, and then he debuted and he acted nothing like he does in the game.
Yep.
Because it was fucking Funky Flash Man or something, you know, some shit like that.
Yeah. The Funkasaurus.
Funkasaurus, oh my god, that's so much worse than I remember. And he did the stupid T-Rex dance moves too, oh god.
Well, you know.
That's opening
everybody do the dinosaur.
That's opening old wounds right there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 words, Husky Harris.
Oh. Now Husky Harris has been put in Shang Tsung's soul pit or something like that.
Yeah. Husky Harris is now Goro.
Yeah. Alright.
Or which one would be better, Goro or Kintaro?
I'd think of Kintaro being more lean, but... I mean, like, Goro has to have the advantage somewhere, right? Because Kintaro gets to shoot fireballs. You need to keep it balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except in Mortal Kombat X, where Goro can shoot fireballs, and they never really explain why.
He ate Kintaro.
He ate him.
That's why he's not in the game.
He ate him to gain his power. I love the random application of Kirby logic. It's so stupid. I'm always brought back to Futurama when Hermes goes through the X-ray, and Bender says, "Hermes, why is there a calculator in your stomach?" And Hermes just turns to him and goes, "I ate it to gain its power." Right. So I will say the number one thing to come out of this, like, firstly, since it's just 11 matches, hopefully this means they didn't put too much funding into it.
Yeah.
That is the number one hope. The number 2 hope is I will be able to get back 2012 era Brian. Before he got pushed into, oblivion, so he was still young and hungry and all that, and he hadn't settled for, I'm just going to do running knees over and over again.
Yeah.
When he was actually the grappler that everybody hyped him up to be. That's the best era of Brian.
Yep. I'm confident that they'll have the old school Brian in, because, we've already seen 2003 Velocity Brian, and they've said that there will be, if I recall correctly, 11 different Daniel Bryan models, and all of them will look different and have different sets.
And all of them take up slots from Legends just to piss people off.
Yes.
There is no slot limit. That's one of the things that gets people.
I know. I know.
Everyone, someone
don't know that. People still don't understand that.
Every time someone brings up the damn slot argument, I launch off into a rage. The fucking fuck. Right.
It hasn't been a thing on the forums for the past 3 years, but
it hasn't been a thing on
flashbacks.
It hasn't been a thing on the FOS because we got rid of the idiots, but on the 2K forums, I'm sure it's still a problem.
It is very much still a problem.
Who cares about 2K? Does any of us even go there?
Fuck no.
I do for the gaming side of it.
Yeah,
that's how I get any information in case people don't relay it over to us.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a whole thing. What I do want to mention, though, is it now dawns on me, since we're getting the specific, young Daniel Bryan, we're getting young man Daniel Bryan and old man Daniel Bryan, I guess, now. I do have to question if with the 2003 Daniel Bryan, they're actually going to have the balls to give him his indie moveset.
I think they will.
Because what was his finish before
the cattle mutilation in as a submission move anyway, so it wouldn't be that far-fetched.
Okay, they'll definitely have to do the cattle mutilation, yeah. But didn't he used to do, dragon bombs and shit?
Yes.
Right. Huh, that's interesting. Because, I definitely remember there's been lots of times where WWE included indie moves of certain characters as just, nod, nod, wink, wink.
Yeah.
Or like how Kevin Ono always has it. Kevin Ono? No, I'm
Kevin Ono, yeah.
I'm thinking
Kevin No.
Fuck this. So,
Kevin Owens?
Yeah, I always think of
Kevin Steen.
Yeah, I was about to call him Kevin Steen. I was genuinely about to. I'm still not used to that. I always go back to how Kevin Owens still has his package pile driver in the game, even though he's never even come close to using that in WWE.
Yep.
So it's that has to be a...
Go ahead.
Well, you're probably about to make a similar point to what I am, right? Where some guy who's the fucking...
No, I was about to make a joke, so that's why you can go ahead.
Oh, I was just about to... I forgot what I was about to say, so keep going.
Well, the thing that I was going to say is that then they also have the what was it the package cocktease, where he puts them in the position for the pile driver and then throws them out to the side.
That is the kind of thing that would only exist in modern wrestling. Could you imagine if they did that in the 80s or 90s wrestling? He did that, he puts them in the package position and winks at the audience and does a different move. They'd have been confused, what, huh?
We don't understand. What was that?
But all the marks in the audience are like, oh! They're just jerking off.
Us.
They're jerking off in their seats. Oh, it's such a good heel move. It's almost Young Bucks level of heel move. Fuck modern wrestling. So, from what I understand, Pink over here is pretty hyped for the upcoming Spider-Man game, yes?
Absolutely.
So am I. Unfortunately, money may be a problem. I don't know. We'll see, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Money's always fun to deal with.
Yeah, because I got Red Dead coming up, too, as well. So I don't know if I'll be able to mix both of the two, and I also want to get an Elgato so that we can record some stuff on console, from my perspective. But anyways, so they released a new trailer for Spider-Man. Fuck.
Peter Spider.
Peter Spider.
Peter Spoiler. Peter Spoiler.
Peter Spoiler.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man does whatever a spoiler can.
Yeah. It's really just like an Irish folk rendition of the '60s Spider-Man theme.
Yeah. Spins a web any size, catches thieves, eats those guys. No, wait, don't do that, Spider-Man. So, anyways, the trailer basically is J. Jonah Jameson going on one of his usual email rants. I do want to say, I think you're going to agree with me here, Pink. I'm iffy on this J. Jonah Jameson voice actor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there is a thing I've noticed that I appreciate. It sounds like he's less trying to imitate J.K. Help me.
Abrams,
J.K. Simmons.
I think?
J.K. Simmons. Right, he's not trying to imitate the J.K. Simmons J. Jonah that we've already got. It sounds more like he's trying to imitate Stan Lee. Which, if he is doing that intentionally, then I actually appreciate that, because the J. Jonah in the comics is supposed to be based off of Stan Lee, yeah?
Yeah.
So
I'll have to listen to that back. I didn't catch up on that, pick up on the Stan Lee impersonation.
There was a slight tinge of it, but it wasn't, like, noticeable. Which, I mean, you'd have to do that, because Stan Lee nowadays is, like, 90-something, and J. Jonah is supposed to be only, like, 50.
Yeah.
Right, so the main take, it was mostly just a, establishing trailer, right? Where it doesn't really show much, it just kind of establishes the universe. But,
yeah, and it's basically there to get the player hyped with all this cool stuff he can do.
Right, but the thing I noticed, like, I don't know if you probably noticed this as well. Did you see the buildings that Spider-Man was swinging by?
I did. Those were, like,
the
first things I noticed, because I was listening to you guys talking earlier while I was watching the trailer. Then he swung past, like, Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. I was like, wait, was that? Then he goes through, like, the Avengers Tower and Oscorp and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
The thing, he dives off Avengers Tower and you see him dive in front of it. So it's actually a pretty cool shot. But the Sanctum Sanctorum, like, it's weird that we now live in an era where people are going to recognize it. You know?
Yes.
Because before it would have been a goofy thing like, oh, it's some Marvel side character. But now it's like, oh my god, it's Doctor Strange's house.
Yeah. It's better than Cumberpatch.
Oh my god. I do want to raise the question, though. Something just dawned on me. You know how in GTA 5, if you try to blow up Michael or Trevor or Franklin's house while playing as another character, they'll start texting you to stop throwing grenades at my house, asshole. Things like that.
Yeah.
What if Spider-Man is just sitting outside the Sanctum Sanctorum terrorizing Doctor Strange by webbing up his windows and shit?
And then Strange comes out and banishes him to the Shadow Realm.
He does like in Thor Ragnarok, where he teleports a guy into the portal. I have been falling for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's real time.
Real time.
It's the player's
30-minute in-game penalty for webbing up Doctor Strange's windows. Have some respect for yourself.
Yeah, and the uber pros that want to get real good at the game start doing it intentionally so they can practice their mid-air falling controls.
That or they discover a break where they can skip to the last boss of the game through falling through the portal for 1.5 hours.
You have to dodge it when Doctor Strange tries to get you back out.
Yeah.
Right, so this to me is big because, like, is this, like... To me, it's just big because it's acknowledging a wider universe, and I believe Incognito, or not Incognito, that's a different developer. Insomniac has in the past mentioned that they are interested in continuing this into a wider Marvel video game universe. And I'm just like, fucking yeah!
Yep, I was on board that same chain of thought when I saw those buildings. We all probably were, to be honest.
How would a
Go ahead.
I just want to say, how would a Doctor Strange video game work?
I don't know, but I look forward to playing a game where I play as not as Gory Ermac.
That name got butchered by your accent, so I missed it completely. Ermac?
Yeah, not as Gory Ermac.
Gory Ermac from Mortal Kombat?
No, not as gory.
I'm completely lost, man.
Not as gory Ermac.
Not as gory Ermac. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. my hype for this game continues to build, and it's disappointing because I'm probably not going to get to play it at least for like a couple months. But hey, you'll be here to talk about it, Pink.
Oh yeah.
Technically, we have some way of playing it somewhat, because if Pink gets his freaking what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. If he gets his PS4, then they probably give him like 14 days of PS Plus. So game sharing is an option. Not the best option, but it's an option nonetheless. We can just mooch off of him the same way I do off of you.
Right. So the next topic comes up is for those who give a shit, which it doesn't really anymore because Bethesda has become steadily the developer that you try not to pay attention to. But hey, QuakeCon happened this past week, I believe, which is Bethesda's specific own conference. I don't know why Bethesda does one of their own and does E3. You'd think they'd try to just save it all for their own, right? Because
you might think, but that's also what Nintendo did several years back, and that they kind of got backlash for that.
I mean, it did blow up in their face, but if you're gonna do it, at least commit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass for the consumer because we don't want to have to keep track of different conventions. But yeah, anyways, so they showed off the first ever proper gameplay of Doom Eternal. They showed off a full fucking like 25 minutes of it. And like, did either of you guys play the recent 2016 version of Doom?
So Doom was just added to Game Pass.
Okay, you guys need to run through that because like it's.
I played a bit.
I don't know if that's like something you and I need to look into for Couchless Co-op, Addy, or
we can. We can. If you want, I can restart the game because I'm like on the second level.
That is all. It's in the same category as Bayonetta, though, in that I want to finish it myself first. Which Bayonetta and Doom are both games I have on PC, so it wouldn't take me long at all to run through them. But basically what I'm just going to go ahead and say here is, if you've played that Doom game, it's really fucking good. Like, since you have played it, you can attest here that for a shooter, it feels amazing.
I don't know. For me, it's a bit too chaotic, so I don't understand 90% of the things that's going on at the time. I just kind of turn off and murder things.
That's Doom! Like, on PC, it's a little bit more awkward because you can very clearly observe that, it's a little bit more built for controller. It works good on PC keyboard, though. And supposedly they've said that Doom Eternal will work even better on keyboard, which is good for me because I'm still a PC gamer above all. But it was very much classic Doom with slight new elements like, hey, the chainsaw. It's still a melee weapon, but now it can only be used like if you have fuel for it, you can use it twice, and it's a one-shot kill that gives free ammo and everything. It introduced some new subsystems, but it was mostly very in tune with classic Doom, right? They added fatalities, I remember that.
Yeah.
So this is going in Doom Eternal is taking 2016's Doom, and it's taking a lot of that, and it's going a bit nuts with it. So, Addy, did you watch the full Doom trailer? I know Pink didn't, but...
Yes.
Right, so what you saw that in action there, and the crazy new movement options they're implementing there, like, whoo. So, they are basically, in terms of, like, trying to move the movement system forward, now the Doom guy can double jump, he can dash, he can air dash, and he has a grappling hook that can be used to full-on Spider-Man swing off of enemies.
I'm looking forward to the next Doom, where the Doom guy will get a large laser sword, which he actually does in this game, so never mind.
Yeah, he does.
And he just turns into
here.
Go ahead.
Taking all the Overwatch heroes, merging it into one, and making it the Doom guy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But so I'm waiting for a time when you get like an immortality pickup and the Doom guy just takes out the sword. It goes into third person. It just turns into a hero action game.
That was what I was thinking the entire time. Like, not only the guy playing the demo, of course, the guy they have playing the demo is always some kind of crazy pro that probably built the game, but he went through the entire thing not getting hit, picking up insane kill counts, getting fatalities, and swinging all over the place, jumping all over the place. I was like, if there was a style meter here, this would be a character action game. Like, this would be Devil May Cry first-person shooter edition. Addy, are you trying to say something?
No, it's just noise.
Okay. Because, like when I saw that grappling hook in action, I specifically thought of Nero in Devil May Cry 4, how he does the exact same thing.
I thought of the shitty DMC remake, and it's like 15 different versions of a grappling hook.
Yeah, I remember that. Definitely. Hopefully this time you can't use it to fly into the skybox.
Yeah. No, that you can in Doom you can fly into the skybox, but that's only if you double execute 2 demons at once, one with your like hand knife, the other one with the chainsaw. That will give you perpetual motion.
That would be interesting to see, like, a lot of the same stuff that gets applied to Japanese fighters and character action games get applied to an American first-person shooter. To see, like, people taking shots with that and making up crazy techniques. Because there ain't so much of that in Western gaming as there is in Eastern gaming.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I do think about, there is one that I always think of, bunny hopping. It's been a while since we've had a first-person shooter that had bunny hopping, but back in the day, man. Let's see. It also, like, to add on to the character action thing, did you see that now Doom Guy has a fucking Virgil? That they showed off that concept art for a alternative, like, evil Doom Guy you're gonna have to fight, who is carrying the same shotgun, but he's also carrying a big fire axe?
I think so. Was that the guy who becomes Darth Maul circa Clone Wars? The spider guy.
No, I don't think that is. Well, that guy is also supposed to be something, evidently, because that thing's name is the Slayer Hunter, and now they finally changed it. Doom Guy is no longer called Doom Guy, apparently. Now he's called Doom Slayer.
That's because it's 2 different characters, well, it's kind of 2 different characters, but not really, because the first game, from what I could tell from the small amount I played, the first game tries to follow with the first couple of Dooms actually happened, and then this is what continued after that, even though the world got saved. And then because of the basically because the demons became necromorphs more or less on the world, Doom Guy just became known as the Doom Slayer or something like that. I don't know my lore. I don't read lore.
I don't have my lore either. I just kind of assume, because the first Doom game starts right out with your guy seems to know what he's doing already, and you wake up on like some kind of crazy sacrifice table. And the thing is, like, yeah. I don't know where Doom Guy was previously. I think he was supposed to be like somewhere in hell, probably after Doom 2. But
well, that was also Doom 3.
Yes, but Doom 3 I think is supposed to be a prequel or something.
Is it?
Yeah, because Doom 3 is very much like, it starts off like your guy is, oh, wow, demons, what are these? These can't be demons. Demons aren't real. Oh, wait, demons are totally real.
I don't know. The only thing I know about Doom 3 is that in the Hungarian redub that they did sometime, one of the like first like big Hungarian YouTubers were in the dubbing team.
Huh.
That's about all I know.
What I do know is, I know that, like, supposedly there's a whole thing right now of people are figuring out, like, all of their games are in the same timeline. Supposedly, like, it goes Wolfenstein's whole series, then it goes into fucking Commander Keen, of all things, then it goes into Quake, and then Quake leads into Doom, supposedly, is how it goes. Which, of course, it goes into more detail than that, because there's like 30 different Wolfensteins, 10 different Quakes, 10 different Dooms. So you gotta put them in order. But, like, supposedly it goes in that order, and supposedly all of the protagonists are descendants of B.J. Blazkowicz.
Oh.
I know for sure that Commander Keen is supposed to be a descendant of B.J. Blazkowicz. Which is funny to see that cutesy little kid cartoon character, Commander Keen.
Commander Keen?
And it's like, oh yeah, he's the grandson of the legendary Nazi killer B.J. Blazkowicz. Right, so I don't know if Doom Guy is supposed to be a descendant of B.J. Blazkowicz. I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's actually just frozen B.J. Blazkowicz. I wouldn't
be surprised. I should probably play through the Wolfenstein game someday.
I hope Like, I don't know if you've heard of this, but at one point in Dragon Ball, Hitler was an enemy.
Yes,
the mecha.
Right. What I remember of Hitler was when hell springs open and all the dead villains come back. Hitler comes out and Goku flies over his head, and Hitler says, "A blonde white man with blue eyes. Why am I fighting this guy? I should be teaming with him," or something like that. Right?
I don't remember. I never watched Dragon Ball Z. I just know tidbits.
I think then someone like Goku or Vegeta just kills him.
But yeah,
because Hitler's still a regular guy.
Basically, in the last Doom game that they make in this series, I just want like freaking Giga Hitler.
Giga Hitler.
With a mech.
Giga Hitler, yes. No, BJ Blazkowicz travels forward in time, and Doom Guy and BJ Blazkowicz have to team together to kill Hitler, because Hitler is merged together with Satan. So now it's both of their nemesises together.
Yeah, and they turn into like a giant Akira monster.
Giga Hitler Satan. That is the ultimate final boss of gaming. That's
and then it has an afro because Satan.
Oh my god.
Speaking of Dragon Ball, but yeah.
Right, so Doom Eternal looks incredible. I'm damn fascinated by where it's going, especially if it keeps going down this character action plotline, because that means I can pick it up when it comes out, and it'll be another week of character action. So, the next news story is Monster Hunter World has been banned in China. And you know what the fucking crazy thing is?
What?
It's been banned because supposedly, like, its chat goes through channels that cannot be moderated by the Chinese government. So China apparently banned the game because they were worried that the revolutionaries would use Monster Hunter World to communicate. And that is the kind of absurdist world that China is.
So next week, everybody will get a free Pooh Bear costume.
Dude, could you imagine if they fucking went for it? Like, they specifically licensed Winnie the Pooh for Monster Hunter just as a big fuck you to Xi Jinping. No, the biggest monster in the game is replaced with Winnie.
Yeah.
You just
no. The biggest monster in the world is a giant book. Like, it's actually just a Winnie the Pooh book.
So this story, like, ordinarily we try to not talk about politics, but this one I felt was notable just because it's following up on, was it last week's story where we talked about how they also banned Christopher Robin because of Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Yeah.
Right, and I just think it's funny to talk about China banning random things for bullshit reasons. And the great thing is, it's still China, so give them a month and a ripoff will come out.
I kind of hope that
I'd be surprised if there isn't already a ripoff.
I kind of hope that one day it will just reach China bans pooping because it has poo in it.
Shut up. a Chinese ripoff Monster Hunter World game, and it's got the oh man, you guys ever see that picture on the internet of, like, the Force of Ultimate Justice or Force of Good Justice or something like that? And it's a little toy package, and it's got Batman, Flash,
Shrek,
yeah, Lightning McQueen, the Red Power Ranger. Who else? It had one of the Marvel heroes, probably Spider-Man. Like, let's see.
It is all right. That's a callback in it.
Yeah, we're full of callbacks today. So, yeah, let's just make a game starring the ultimate force of ultimate true good justice or something like that. Let's bring in all the stupid characters too. Let's bring in Po from Kung Fu Panda, all the Pixar characters, all the DreamWorks characters. Bugs Bunny, fuck it, let's do that. Dora the Explorer, why not?
Dorothy. Like, not any of the people from Oz, just Dorothy, not even Toto.
I was like, I thought you were referring to Dorothy from Finding Nemo, because I was like, oh, just throw a fish on the ground. She's just flopping around.
No, from Finding Nemo, they just do the stoner turtle.
Yeah. It's China stupid. Like we're stupid here on the podcast, but even we think China is stupid. But moving on to the next topic, and this one's like one of disappointment for me. I don't know. This one, I don't think you guys haven't put much time into the Metal Gear games, right?
Yeah.
I would be shocked if. Yeah, I was about to say I'd be shocked if Pink has played a Metal Gear game in his life. But supposedly they're actually continuing to try and move forward with making a movie adaptation. They released some concept art, and I'm not gonna lie, the concept art looks pretty fucking sweet. I will say that it doesn't fit into canon. Like this picture we've got right here in front of us, the picture of young Revolver Ocelot riding on this weird treaded, I don't know what to call it. It's a single tank tread, basically.
Yeah, it's a baby tank.
Yeah, and he's got a big Metal Gear behind him, and it's like my inner Metal Gear lore nerd comes out and says neither of those things would have existed at that point.
The baby Ocelot or the Metal Gear?
The Metal Gear and the tank tread thing would not have existed at the same point that Ocelot would have been that age. Because that's Ocelot like 18 years old in the 1960s. So that it doesn't fit into canon, but I get that they're just trying to establish with concept art, you know. And they got the director who made Kong Skull Island, which I've not watched. I've heard good things about it from the people on the forum. I've heard bad things about it from my family, so I don't know whether to make heads or tails of that.
Really, the thing about this movie is that if people go in and understand what's going on after the 20-minute mark, it failed.
Yeah, that's the inevitable thing about Metal Gear. It's like in order for it to be a movie, it's going to be like it'd have to be like 3 movies. It'd have to be like 6 movies, and they'd have to be like 3 hours, and it'd still be cutting the majority of the content. Because this is the issue that always runs into with video game movies. If a video game has a plot line, then it's going to be way too long of a plot line to show in just a movie. And if a video game doesn't have a plot line, then it's not worth adapting into a movie. I mean,
what do you mean Tetris isn't a good movie?
No. What do you mean Super Mario Brothers wasn't a good movie?
Oh no.
The movie that fucking killed the career of Dennis Hopper. Legendary actor killed by Super Mario Brothers.
Too many one-up shrooms.
John Leguizamo could have been something if he wasn't Luigi.
You mean Luigi Mario?
Was he?
I think that's actually canon.
Right. The stupid their last name is Mario, which means Mario is Mario. So, oh fuck. Right, so this is... I would be hard-pressed to think of any games that have more ridiculous amounts of plot than Metal Gear.
I just hope that... that would be... Like, if they actually end up making the movies. Like, no matter the time, no matter what the freaking... what the characters are, whenever somebody asks for an explanation, is just the response is just another machines.
Nano machines. Oh, that's part of what makes Metal Gear Rising great. Whenever I get around to playing Metal Gear Rising for Character Action Marathon. I thought you were about to say they just answer with the same thing that they said. Like, it's Metal Gear. Metal Gear!
That would be good as well. Yeah.
Watch out, Snake. It's a Hind D. A Hind D! Metal Gear is stupid in the best way.
Snake, here's a gun. A gun?
A gun! Watch out, Snake. The base will be patrolled by enemy troops. Enemy troops?
What base?
A base.
He's just standing in nowhere.
Hello, Snake. My name is Paramedic. Paramedic! Snake, are you mocking me? Mocking you! So that's stupid.
I'd watch that movie.
That movie would... Okay, if that was the movie, then I'd fucking go back and watch it 3 times. Like how when Titanic came out, people were going back to watch it like fucking 11 times. I'd be doing that.
Yeah, for that week, you just live in the theater.
I just camp out in the hallway, and every time one of the employees is like, "Hey, sir, you can't live here," I'll just throw a $10 bill at him.
You saw nothing.
And then the employee will be like, $10 bill?
I've set up like it's the forest in there. I've got a campfire. The shelter. I'm chopping down trees outside and building a log cabin in there.
And then the employees haul you off to the cave.
Yeah, and then that one employee that hauls me off to the cave, I later get found eating his arms, and it's like, okay, we don't do that to him anymore. Right. So, the next topic down the list is we got Iron Fist Season 2 trailer. Now, both of you guys went ahead and watched this, yes?
Right.
I watched the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
Right.
you got the gist of it. So, the first thing I want to say about this is they fucking went for the line, the "I didn't ask for this" line. Ooh, that is one of the #1 lines in fiction that get me like, that is, no. Like, that is so much a worrying line, because I want to say this. I've mentioned it before when I was talking about how I'd watched Luke Cage Season 2. One of the things they did right with Luke Cage Season 2 was when they brought Danny back, they made him not such an obnoxiously serious guy who was just spitting out constant, meaningless proverbs and things, right?
Right.
Vague Confucius quotes that probably aren't actual Confucius quotes, because Confucius actually had meaning to it when he made statements. And nothing Danny says
confusing quotes.
Yeah. It's what happens when Americans try to write Chinese characters, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, they don't know the draw order.
Yeah, and they think China is all proverbs instead of all cocaine.
No, they think China is all proverbs, when it's really all Winnie the Pooh. Just
pirated Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah,
because they can't get it legally. They got people meeting in the back alleys, selling like dudes in hoodies selling, exchanging drugs for tapes of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, they say, you got that crap?
Xi Jinping is sending out the shock troops to crack down on the Winnie the Pooh rings. So I will say, it looks like they've actually improved on the action, which, holy fuck, did Iron Fist need some improvements to the fight scenes.
Yes, indeed.
And there is a No, you keep going. I was just about to say something that should probably be saved for closer to the end.
Oh, yeah. That was my biggest takeaway from the film? What am I talking about? From the trailer. Like, all the action sequences, and basically all those scenes looked like they were put in there to show us that, hey, guys, remember the last season that you didn't like? We're trying to make amends now. Please watch this.
They can go back and try to fix everything that people complained about for last season, but that'd be a lot of shit to fix.
Yeah.
For one thing, I'm glad because we don't see him do a single fucking little arm twist counter, because he used those way too much in the first season. So much of it is just somebody takes a swing at him, he grabs their arm and flips them with one arm, and it's like, yeah, it's not exactly
Ronda Rousey's entire moveset in the WWE.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine so, because she's not an actual wrestler, but...
Pre-order now to play as Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Pre-order now, arm drags galore. Arm drags and hip tosses.
Also Rey Mysterio.
Brock Lesnar versus Ronda Rousey. Suplex City versus Arm Drag City. I would not be shocked if modern WWE made that her gimmick.
Arm Drag Village.
Arm Drag Village.
I love it.
Right, so the other thing I want to note here, good lord, please let the mask not be a flashback exclusive.
Yes.
Because I at first when they released teaser shots of him wearing the mask, I was like, thank God. But it looks like they're all flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still so that antsy about giving him a mask?
I hope not.
Because I know they're like, oh, masks are stupid. Nobody in real life would ever wear a mask. Iron Fist has one of the best and most logical masks.
Yeah.
It's not like, Batman has the goofy cowl that's made out of some kind of weird plastic. Iron Fist is legitimately just wearing cloth. Like,
he's just wearing a bandana with holes in it, to be honest.
Yeah, real life warriors have wore. It's not unreasonable. This is a thing people have wore.
And let's be honest with ourselves. This is cinematography, and those masks look far better than that stupid thumbnail I'm looking at right now.
Oh my god.
The little mask over his nose and mouth with a hoodie, because he's such a tough guy.
I forgot to mention it, but during season 2 of Luke Cage, Danny spends most of his time wearing a hoodie with the hood up. There is a scene where he and Luke are both wearing hoodies with the hood up and talking while walking down the street with hoodies with the hood up, and they both just look like jackasses. And I get with Luke Cage that they did it during season 1 because it was a nod to the Trayvon Martin case, but I have to question, the point's established. Please stop having Luke wear a hoodie. Because firstly, it's not his iconic look. In the comics, Luke generally wears, the yellow t-shirt, which God forbid they ever include vibrant colors. But
right.
The other thing is, you can't even use it as the justification of, oh, Luke's incognito. Luke is not fucking incognito. Even wearing the hoodie, Luke is still 6'6", fucking, 250 pounds of sheer muscle. He still looks way fucking weird on the streets of Harlem. Oh, there's Luke Cage. There's the bodybuilder. There's the guy who looks like he can suplex a car. Let's get him.
Continues to suplex the whole building.
Well, yeah, there comes the next natural step of superhero logic of, why the hell do minions go hey, there's the guy that can suplex trucks. Let's shoot at him. So
it works with Spider-Man.
It does. It works with Spider-Man. It works with Batman. Not all superheroes are bulletproof. Just a fuck ton of them.
Hashtag not all superheroes.
All superheroes. Yeah. Nothing angers me more than the stupid hoodies in, all superhero forms of media nowadays.
Oh my! You know where it's worst? At its worst, when Captain America does it when he's trying to go incognito. So he wears the hoodie with the hood up and the baseball cap and the sunglasses, and I'm like, that is the most conspicuous way to go about your day.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping that he would wear one of those Captain America hoodies that just you pull it up and it's just Captain America.
It's the mask.
That would be awesome.
That would actually be amazing. Cause haven't they actually
that would probably be more inconspicuous.
Yeah, because they do that in Superman comics, where when Clark's trying to hide in plain sight, he'll cosplay as Superman, but he'll still do the Clark Kent body language where he's still slumped over and real meek, and it's a more effective disguise than just trying to wear a hoodie and fucking baseball cap and sunglasses.
Yeah, and then they can do a thing where Sting attacks someone by taking off a Sting mask.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, now you've got me imagining Clark Kent with the Superman cosplay smacks someone in the back of the head, then he tears off his Superman costume to reveal another Superman costume underneath.
Yeah.
When you combine comic books and wrestling, you're invariably going to get some of the stupidest shit that you can dream of.
and then
it's all glorious.
And the Raven gets lowered from the rafters.
Did Raven ever get lowered from the rafters? I don't recall.
If I were to, I would say that no one's been lowered from the rafters since Owen. But if I were to think of somebody who would do it after Owen and not give a shit, it would be Raven.
Yeah.
No, I meant comic book Raven, whatever.
Either one works, honestly. They're the same character.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I want to freaking see bloody Teen Titans Raven with the freaking, what's it called? Whatever. A leather jacket and one of those bloody, what's the word I'm looking for? One of those lumberjack shirts tied around her waist.
Oh, flannel, yeah.
Yeah, flannel.
Right. She doesn't even use her powers anymore. She just uses hardcore wrestling technique.
Yeah.
She brings
smacks people with a trash can lid.
barbed wire baseball bat.
Even flow DDT.
Nah.
and even the entrance works then.
Yeah.
Right, so going back to Iron Fist, I just want to note one more thing. We see Iron Fist, like, fighting guys out the back of what looks like probably a stolen bank van or something. Will we actually get to see Iron Fist fight crime? Will they?
I hope so.
Will they dare to have
At the end of Defenders, it's kind of, or at least I'm assuming that it's insinuated that Iron Fist kind of feels that it's his responsibility now to take over now that Daredevil is allegedly dead in their eyes.
Well, I mean, what I took from that was he was going to take over Hell's Kitchen, but, I mean, is he taking over Hell's Kitchen?
I don't know.
Because in Luke Cage Season 2, whenever Luke goes to get Danny, he's like, oh, I got to get Danny out of Brooklyn, not Hell's Kitchen, so I don't know. And it really bothered me if it was Brooklyn, because I always think of Brooklyn as being Spider-Man territory.
Yeah.
It always cracked me up that, you know, every other superhero gets a specific district. Like, oh, Daredevil sticks to Hell's Kitchen. Luke Cage sticks to Harlem. Spider-Man gets everywhere else. Well, Luke and Matt just aren't carrying their end of the workload.
Yeah, it's out of their jurisdiction. But Spider-Man, he's got it all.
But the thing I just want to end the Iron Fist talk on. Can I just say, that is a really fucking cool thing they did, where he uses the Iron Fist to punch the front of the bank truck, and it just crushes the front end.
Yes.
Because that looked fucking sweet, and that's a neat application of showing just how powerful it is.
Yeah, absolutely agreed.
Also, Evil Iron Fist, was that a thing in the comics?
I don't recall if it was an evil Iron Fist. I think the villain is set up to be the Steel Serpent or whatever. I don't recall if he had that same power though. He probably did, and I'm just forgetting. But I don't recall.
The thing is, they're setting up Diamondback and Luke Cage. He's going to be getting Luke's powers because the scientist that created Luke is going to turn Diamondback into something similar to Luke. Which they've been going for that too. It's kind of goofy having two characters who have, like, you know, their Virgil versions, right? The evil brotherly version, right? Because Diamondback is legitimately Luke's brother, so it's full on Dante and Virgil. And now they're implying that Davos or whatever his name is going to act like he's Danny's brother as well, even, you know, brother in arms, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many times are they going to go for this trope? I didn't watch Jessica Jones Season 2, but I think they did the same thing with Jessica's mother, with her coming back as basically an evil version of Jessica. Well, I think that whoever's the executive in charge, whoever's in charge of this shit...
Put up a timestamp.
Oh boy, what are you going to do? Are you going to nuke the recording?
Yes, possibly. Right, so from what I understand...
if put it up now, that way I'll be able to put up an accurate timestamp.
Okay, so from what I understand, the freaking Marvel television universe is this so far.
You're not wrong.
No, not at all.
The
Marvel universe, it's just filled with family struggles.
Well, I mean, even in the movies, it's a little bit. Because Iron Man has Whiplash and Iron Marauder or something, right? Ironmonger, excuse me.
Yeah.
Captain America has Winter Soldier and Red Skull. They're both kind of like anti-Captain America. Hulk has Abomination. I don't know if Loki would really... If Loki counts for Thor in the kind of way that he is a god and his brother and all that. But they fight very differently. I mean, who else is there? Gamora has Nebula, of course.
Gamora and Nebula have Thanos.
Yeah. Doctor Strange has Baron Mordo. Because, like, I'm sticking to moveset copies here, right? I'm sticking to Echo Fighters. Spider-Man's got Venom, but now Venom's in a different universe for some reason.
Thank Doctor Strange for that.
Yeah. Doctor Strange saw Venom, he was like, fuck this shit.
Be gone.
Divide.
We're not having any of this.
Be gone, Todd. Just appears at Sony's doorstep.
I'm imagining like Eddie Brock picks up a letter that says "Begone Thought" and then he just blinks out of existence. That's stupid. Yeah, there are a lot of Echo Fighters in Marvel when you think about it. I mean, even if you go outside the movies, like, hey, Wolverine's got Sabretooth, and Professor X has,
Magneto?
I don't know, Magneto's got, like, an entirely different power set, but does Professor X not have, like, an anti-version of himself, an evil psychic?
I don't remember.
Legion, I think.
Legion is damn close, but Legion, like, has every power. It just depends on his personality, right?
Right.
The Shadow King. Wasn't the Shadow King roughly on Professor X's level?
Yeah, they're both the psychics, or whatnot.
Though, of course, now Shadow King has been turned into a Legion villain by the Legion TV show, so hey. Which is weird.
How about Phoenix?
I feel like Dark Phoenix counts as an Echo Fighter of herself.
Yeah.
I'd also think of Emma Frost being closer to Jean, but Emma Frost is like way below Jean's level.
Yeah, Jean's on a level of her own.
Emma Frost is also a snowwoman.
Emma Frost is more in line with Professor Xavier.
Yeah, Emma Frost then gets the hardened form as well, so she like goes into she invested in a different branch of the skill tree. Right. So other than that. Oh, I do want to mention just before moving forward, it's fucking weird to look back on it and see that the chick from Parks and Rec is now playing the villain of Legion. She is playing the Shadow King. So that's weird. Which now unfortunately means lots of dudes want to fuck the Shadow King. So, what do we got coming out on the channel this coming week? Well, let's see. It's got to be a lot of The Forest with me and Pink. And we are, in terms of recording sessions, we're actually extremely close to wrapping it up. In terms of recording sessions, I'd say we've got one more session. Honestly. Right. But in terms of uploading, we've still got, like, we're about halfway for uploading. So, I think we're up to episode 12 in terms of uploading, right?
Right.
I'll have to check. It's open for me. We're up to episode 11.
Right.
So, yeah, 11.
With one more recording session, the actual uploaded episodes are probably going to wrap up around, I don't know, episode 24 or 25, I'd wager. So, yeah, in terms of recording, me and Pink are almost done with that suffering, but in terms of uploading, you guys are only halfway through
it. You poor unfortunate souls.
Yeah, from what I could tell, there will be Forest episodes for 2 more weeks. Actually, a bit over 3.
Yeah, I'd wager that. I think
something like that.
I think the bigger question is whether or not me and Pink want to get the final recording of The Forest done in the next couple days, and start on the next new series and backload that like we've been doing with The Forest, or if we want to wait until The Forest is done. Because I don't know. We'll talk it over with Pink off video, probably. But for me and Addie's series, Dead Space 2, more of it is coming down the pipes. So
yeah, that's gonna be going for a couple of weeks as well, since we still have like 1 or 2 sessions left.
Yeah, I'd say like it's definitely gonna shape up to be less episodes than The Forest. Like I'd say Dead Space 2 is probably gonna wrap up around episode 12 or 13 is what I'd wager, probably.
You know, I tried to watch you guys' episode, like the first episode, a couple days back, but then I saw it was like an hour and 30 minutes. I was like, heck no, I'm out of here.
Start on the second one. It's 30 minutes. I told you. Bloody.
Whenever we start series, we've seemingly done this thing where the first video is always an hour or an hour and a half, and every video after that is 30 minutes. I don't know if we want to keep doing that because it's like, oh hey, big special for the start. Or if
I don't think we do.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Maybe keep the specials for the last episode, if even that.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because the last episode is when we might need leg room. Because what happens if the final recording session comes through at an hour and 40 minutes? Because that can't be evenly divided up into 30 minutes segments.
Yeah.
Like doing a mega episode for the finales makes more sense to me than doing a 90-minute first episode.
Well, you did say that you only enjoy watching 65 minutes, 5-minute videos, or 65-minute videos rather.
Yeah, 65-minute videos.
Exact to the second.
But it still doesn't apply.
Anything less, I'm just not having any of it.
It still doesn't apply because it's 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So, other than that, we will probably be spending more time off screen experimenting with new recording methods. So
you will be experimenting with new recording methods.
yeah, pretty much. Hey, when I say we, I make it sound like a team effort, okay?
It's we have to pretend that some people are carrying their weight. Looking at you, Mr. Oh, wait.
So, hey, yeah, probably once Dead Space 2 is done, you can expect me and Addy to be running through a new series on our own, and The Forest is going not to be done for you guys for a couple weeks. But when it eventually gets done, yeah, we'll have another new series for me and Pink going on after that. And
also, I think it's safe to say that the new series that we're gonna do is gonna be the debuted series of the Bizarre Adventures of ours.
Yes, we've got a couple candidates, but they're all Bizarre Adventures.
You cut out.
We've got a couple candidates for the next series, but they are all fitting under the Bizarre Adventures idea.
Yeah.
We'll hit that. We'll jump that hurdle when we get to it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, moving on to what we've done in this past week. I've done a fair bit. Has anyone not done anything and would want to go up first?
I can go up first because I think there's only one thing that I've done this week.
I think I've done 2, so...
Yeah,
no, I did 3.
You might intertwine with mine as well, because we both did it.
No, I think I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
Well, I should hope you know, because what else have you done? So, this week, For Honor joined the Xbox Gold, what do you want to call that?
Free games. It's the games with gold for this month.
They give out every month. And boy, oh boy. First of all, the download took forever and a day.
I saw that.
Hey, it's 40 gigs.
I thought it was 60 gigs, but yeah, it took my Xbox a fucking while too. I haven't got to play it yet, but I have installed it. So
yeah, I had went to install it the day Addy told me to, and then I had paused it and forgot to turn it back on overnight. So I woke up the next morning, or whatever, and when I went to check on the progress, I was like, "Oh wait, I forgot to resume that."
Yeah, when Pink woke up, he looked at the Xbox, and I left the party invite just so I could yell at him if the freaking download was done, more or less.
Basically, because I think I spent the next 6 hours waiting for that thing to download while I played Smite with Addy, so that was fun. It was incredibly slow, but once it did download and once I finally got into the game, I played a bit with Addy. I don't think I played any by myself to learn the tutorial. I was forced to do that tutorial thing in the beginning, but once that was in, it was just me and Addy.
Fuck forced tutorials. God, my mouth.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't want to learn. I just wanted to get in and die.
Yeah, I was like...
what I did anyway.
I was like, I'm gonna teach Pink what to do. And then Pink's like, there's a forced tutorial.
Yeah. I think I learned more by fighting Addy, though, than I ever did in the tutorial.
That's a wonderful thing about tutorials.
Yeah. But I would like to note that I did not die during the tutorial, and that is a big rarity for me. If there's a way to die in a tutorial, I will find that way and do it, sometimes repeatedly, because I'm that good at gaming.
It takes skill to fail a certain way every time.
And that is skill I possess like no man you've ever known. So, I think that we did a duel with me and Addy first, and that's where I basically learned most of what I know now. and then we spent the rest of our time fighting against bots. And boy, oh boy, is that game frenetic. The chaos in the mode we were doing, it's like there are a bunch of minions everywhere, so I'll just happily take those out. Easy peasy. And then I'll mistake a bot for a minion, and I'll go to smack him with a basic attack, and then get my ass kicked, and then cry a little bit.
And then cry a lot.
And then cry a lot.
I'm curious.
I died so many times in that game, and I have yet to even comprehend to the most basic understanding of the combat system.
The thing is, Pink says this, like I didn't die at all.
I don't think you did die at all in some of those rounds.
I did.
In some of those rounds, though, you went like 17 kills and 0 deaths.
Well, yeah, but I've been playing the game since the beta, more or less. I mean, sure, I took like freaking year-long breaks because it was never free for the weekend, but you know, like I have at least, like, I wanna say overall a month more experience than you do, and that still counts because you know that's still a lot.
Oh my!
Yeah, that is a lot compared to my experience because I've got maybe 2 hours worth of experience in that, and both those hours were spent playing with you.
But yeah, so basically about the fighting and how you do it. I keep telling you, but you didn't listen. That you should stick to one lane, and by one lane I mean one of the side lanes, because the battleground is the one where most of the fighting goes on, but you don't want to be part of that because people will just freaking 2v1 you, and that's not good.
Oh yeah.
Like even in the side lanes, people will 2v1 you, but you know, there's not minions to get in the way. There's no minions to get in the way. So, you know, it's like ever so slightly easier.
See, my thing or my train of thought was that I wasn't good at the combat system anyway, so I might as well try to go clear out the minion waves so that our guys could take over the main battlefield.
Well,
and then I could rush in and try to pick off any like weak links that I saw.
Yeah, the minions can be just not cared about for the most part from my experience, because they're just gonna keep coming and they'll decide whether your minions want to win or the other ones. Sometimes the CPU tries to help them, and then you might want to, you know, go kill the CPU and then make it so the minions can fight it out better in your favor. But like, you don't need to be a lot in the battleground. You need to be in the side lane or the side places that you need to secure, because those yield the more points, just because there's no minions to decide whose side it's on.
Ah.
So that's why I always went with one of the side lanes that I knew I could, you know, easily defend, because being next to traps and stuff can kill you really easily, but you can also kill people really easily. So if you know how to block or parry, depending on, you know, whether your character can actually block, can make a lot of difference. Because say if you know how to block, which you know, like, it's not the easiest thing, and it's really a reflex thing, which is why I'm alright at it. But
yeah,
you know, like if you get the hang of blocking, you can win fights that are near hazards just by pushing people into hazards.
Oh yeah, I do recall we were able to push some people off some bridges, and that was fun.
Yeah, you also killed me by pushing me off a bridge, so you know.
Well, yeah, but I did that when you weren't ready.
I mean, it still counts.
It counts because you weren't ready. Yes. But yeah. I understood the blocking system. I'm just not fast enough to properly block or anything. Like,
well, yeah, but the thing is, Pink, like when I started this game, I wasn't any better than you. It's just something that you get used to, and then after a while, it just becomes, you know, easier to be like, okay, it's ready in this part, so I'm just gonna flick the freaking controller there, so it will block. Parrying is another thing. Parrying, I'm still not used to completely, so you know.
It's something I might get better at as time goes by as we play it, but my reflexes just are not fast enough to keep up with the the attacks.
But yeah, but that's why I set it up against bots, because going against people, well, for one, I've never went against people on my lonesome because, well, for one, I hate playing online games alone.
Yes, but before you continue on, may I remind you that I died repeatedly to the bots anyway.
And you think I didn't when I started out? With 2 hours of knowledge of the game, what you did was really freaking good. Like, in my first 2 hours of playing the game, may I remind you, there was no story mode, so I couldn't actually familiarize myself with the controls. Then again, neither could you because we never started it, but yeah. So yeah, back in the beta. The first day, nah. It was the first 2 or 3 days that I played. It was like 5 maps, and the first 3 days I went against the one level bots, or level 1 bots rather, which is what I set up against you as well. And for the first 3 days, I had no matches won. So you know.
I don't believe you.
Because the bots kept dropping the ball, and I just couldn't block. Like I stayed off the Batman with the Orochi, which is not a good freaking starting character because it doesn't have a block. It only has a parry or a parry-like block or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have a full-on, I just push it there and it stays there block. So going with the Orochi with no freaking experience made it so I got killed really easily, and I still do, which is why I'm trying to look into a character who actually has a block. So, you know, like, with my experience, dying can be avoided for the most part if I can, time my attacks right and I can block. But with a character where blocking is not a thing, normally, that's just, a lot harder. And I think from what I saw from you that, say with a couple more weeks of experience, if even that, you will be at the point where I am.
I see. Yep. My method of dying right now is usually to just stop locking onto them, turn around and run away like a coward. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
If you press A twice, then you roll on the ground and they can't hit you. That's actually that's a viable thing to do when you're nearly dead. To just roll away from them so they can't hit you, and then just start sprinting to the closest secured point so you can get healed. Well, for like, I don't know, like half a pixel, and then they find you and then they kill you, but still.
Oh yeah. You cannot escape death. That's why the Valkyrie needs wings. I need the advantage. I need to be able to fly to my objectives.
But yeah, where's W?
That is an excellent question. I should note that with a lot of games we play, whenever we're all playing together and like playing something new and there are a lot of characters, normally it's me and Alex that go through, like, try to go through the entire roster, and occasionally Addy will find one character that he really likes and sticks to it. With For Honor, it was kind of the opposite, where Addy was choosing all the different characters, and I just found one character and stuck with it.
But yeah, the thing is that my main, like, usually I only play Orochi. The thing with the Orochi is that I get sick of it after a while, because, as I've said, blocking is not a thing, parrying is not easy yet. So, with freaking trying to not get killed, it just angers me really a lot. So sometimes it's good for me to change to a different character that actually has a block button.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. I might.
But yeah.
I might have to try one of those parry characters, maybe with the inability to block. It'll help me boost my skill when it actually does come to blocking.
Well, one of the characters I think you might like, because she's a bit like Circuit in Smite. But a lot of them have poisons, but the guard breaks. Yeah. I think the assassin of the Knight faction has a thing where if you guard break a person and then just mash the light attack button, then just stabs them with a poison blade continuously.
Ah. Sounds entertaining.
Yeah. You might like that. I'm not sure.
I do quite enjoy poisoning my enemies.
But yeah, the thing is with the other thing that I brought up when we played is that you need to look at the moveset list at some point. So we might need to go into like Duel or something and then have points where you just go into the moveset list and try out different moves so you can, like I don't actually use the moveset of my characters a lot because just directional heavy attacks seem to do the trick nice. But there are characters who are actually pretty dependent on using different moves and stuff like that. Words.
That sounds kind of scary because that sounds advanced, and like when it comes to movesets, I don't even know how to use those in fighting games, and fighting games is what they're built for.
I mean, you know how to use Kemi.
To an extent. I don't know how to chain anything together, but I know how to use some of her moves.
But in For Honor, it's not about chaining them together; it's just using the moves. So like
okay,
there
that might not be so bad.
Yeah, the thing is, like, there's this character that I want to buy. You know, the one with the two swords.
Yeah,
he has a combo, but it's literally just switching from forward to one of the side freaking directions and then pressing the light or heavy attack. That's his combo. And that's an infinite, by the way.
That's an infinite.
Yeah, so that goes as long as your stamina lets you.
It's not really an infinite, more like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, it depends. Like, do you what's the word? Do you execute them or do you not? Because with executions you get all of your stamina back.
Well, if I'm able to execute them, I do. I was having trouble executing the executions when we were playing until I just decided to start mashing the controller against my kneecap. That seemed to work out well.
Yeah, we're gonna need to look into those stuff. Seriously, right. Where is W? I hope that the freaking thing is still getting recorded.
Everything just blew up.
Yeah, 1 second while we wait for W.
Yeah. Alright, I guess let's fill some time. So me and Addy played Smite together. How'd that go?
Yeah. It went.
It went. Haven't tried out any new characters or new builds?
Well, not that I haven't shown you, really.
Yeah, but what about the people? You gotta think of the people that are listening. That are enjoying, that are curious to know.
Yeah, so as you don't know because we have yet to record Smite, I'm a Ullr main. I freaking play Ullr. I play Ullr because Ullr is versatile and also hard, but I like that he's versatile.
Quote unquote hard.
Well, yeah, it depends on your reflexes, I guess. I don't know. Have you tried Ullr?
I've not tried Ullr.
Then you should. Freaking starting out with Ullr is the worst things. One of the worst things I've done in Smite. But, by the end when you can just be like, okay, now I freaking shoot the person, and then I jump on them, and then I stun them, and then I hit them from above while they try to run away. And then they die. Is really satisfying. Because even though you used all of your kits, both of them, it just looks really good in my opinion.
Well, using all your kit is basically what you need to do anyway to get a kill.
Yeah. So, here's the song of this part of the recording session.
I love that song. That's a song of my childhood.
Yeah, I've been on a freaking bender just listening to songs from Forza, freaking Gran Turismo 4, because I spent so much time in that game that I love like all of the indie or whatever you want to call them songs in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Smite, since I've made Uller and I've been forced into the tank role for in the past, I was like, what if I combine the two? So I made a tank Uller build that probably sucks ass against people, but I never actually plan on trying it out against people. It's just a joke.
You won't do much damage as tank Uller, but you'll never die.
Well, it depends. How many needs do they have? Because they still did damage to me.
Yeah. If they get a lot of penetration, yeah, they might be able to kill you. But otherwise, you're a tank.
Otherwise, I can 2-on-1 Guan Yu and freaking what was the other one? Hercules.
Yeah.
And kill both of them somehow. But
What's amusing to me is that when we started Smite, I was more comfortable in like a support role. But as things went on and I wanted to learn how to be an assassin, I started maining more assassins. And now I find that to be one of the funner roles in the game.
Yeah, and I started trying to be an assassin, and now I'm a hunter just because I perceive hunters as ranged assassins, and going close range is my biggest problem. Like in Ravana, okay, I get close, but I get killed immediately because I don't know how to gang properly.
Yeah.
And then there's also the Curse of Naja. Which is that whenever Naja is in the game or mentioned during the game at all, you will miss everything that has a line or anything that you need to move for, even if it's point blank.
Yes, indeed.
So that, and then what else do we have?
Post a video without giving me a timestamp.
Oh crap! We did.
I wouldn't know the timestamp, and I.
Okay, hang on. Let me do some fucking calculus here. You guys are talking about whatever happened because there is a timestamp of apparently you did that at 3:24. Also, evidently your volume got jumped up to maximum, so you guys have been screaming your asses off.
Oh no!
All right, that was.
Oh yeah, we were screaming a lot.
That was 3 minutes ago. So let me throw down a timestamp, a ballpark timestamp. Oh, whatever. It's a fucking video. I can't put a video in the middle of our video. What am I doing?
I told you. It doesn't. Yeah. So the thing that the freaking thing W is talking about is falling apart from Zebrahead. There's your timestamp.
Yes, the song that Addy posted from the SmackDown vs. Raw 2005 playlist.
Okay. So yeah, I'm back from having to fucking. Turns out my family was like, "Hey, we bought this massive fucking table that can seat like 20 people, and it's made out of wood and marble, or not marble, but like some kind of rip-off marble, something way cheaper.
Oh,
made out of funny people.
It might as well have been. Have you ever had to lift that shit?
No.
Yes, my family used to have a wooden marble table as well. We don't anymore, and I've never been happier.
Because that shit's some of the heaviest shit in the world.
Yes. And I had to move that thing multiple times. I want to say at least 5.
Oh,
yeah. Man. Not fun.
Yeah. It's like when you go to, your Restore or your Goodwill local, and it's like, oh my god, $20 marble table. Oh, that's amazing. And
yeah, what a bargain.
And you carry it home and you're like, fuck this, I rather would have saved the $20.
But that's why you moved to Russia, because in Soviet Russia, table carries you.
I thought you were gonna make a joke like the table's just made out of crocodile. Don't eat at the table for too long, or you'll start eating people. Alright, so I assume that in the meantime, you guys ran out of things to talk about and started rambling about the SmackDown.
We just started talking about Smite.
Yeah.
We can move on.
Yay, finally, we are free. Right, so I assume both you guys hit your things of, oh, hey, that's what I've been doing this past week.
No, it was just pink still.
Yeah.
Oh, well, why didn't you move on to what Addy's been doing?
I was worried that we shouldn't start without you.
Well, I'm touched, but, you know, we should keep the podcast moving.
That's a good point.
Right.
Hit it, Eddie.
So, as we've discussed before...
Yay!
Woo!
Yeah, I played Doom.
Doom.
Yeah. As I've said, it's a bit too all over the place for me.
And you were in the first 2 levels?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, you're just facing regular zombies. Like later in the game, oh boy, there's some shit.
It's not the enemies, it's the speed. That's a problem for me.
Oh, that's Doom.
Yeah, I know. But I haven't played Doom since I was like 5, so...
I didn't play Doom until I was like 14, but I've got fond memories of, good old Doom sprinting down the hallway with that shotgun that kills half the things in one hit. Good old Doom shotgun. I gotta admit, though, the 2016 Doom shotgun, not great. I don't know if it's just me, but I didn't think so.
One of my bigger problems with the 2016 remake is that the enemies seem like bullet sponges to me, a lot of them.
A good couple of them, yeah. That was a noticeable thing. It does, if you watch the Doom Eternal trailer, so you see, like, they look to be a lot less bullet spongy now.
Yeah.
Particularly because now there's a gore system, so whenever you shoot somebody in the side, their entire side flies off, so... I don't know if that makes them feel weaker,
Yeah.
Visual elements like that can do a lot to change how a gameplay feels,
Yeah. So, other than that, I played Mafia 3. It exists.
I hear all kinds of things about that game. I hear that game has a really good story and non-existent gameplay.
Yes. More or less, yes. So remember how I told you that Vito Scaletta, the main character from 2, comes back?
Yeah, I believe you mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, he comes back. For sure. I know because he's a friend.
Oh, he's actually a friend of the main character. I thought he was supposed to be
for now.
Weren't the bad guys of Mafia 3 supposed to be the Italian mob?
Yes. But basically, left off with Mafia 2, Vito was getting hauled off to somewhere. And basically what happened after that is that the commission, which is like the board of directors for the Mafia, I guess, told Vito to get the hell out of, I don't remember where the hell he was, and to go to freaking Louisiana.
New Orleans.
So yeah.
I just wanted, like, it probably went over your head, but, like, here in the States, we joke a lot about people from Louisiana, and we specifically joke about how with their accent, whenever they refer to the city of New Orleans, they tend to call it New Orleans.
Oh.
So, expect me to say New Orleans instead of New Orleans every time it comes up.
So, yeah, so that, and... From what I could tell, Vito was not supposed to be, really friendly with his what's it called, freaking, with his boss, basically. So the boss sent his like nephew or something to kill Vito.
Okay,
so
so he turns
not friendly.
Yeah, he turns on the Italian mob for the black mob of Louisiana, and that's why he joins up with you then.
Well, yes, more or less. That's where I am in the story. But from what I remember of spoilers, that doesn't stay like that to the end. Words.
Yeah, whenever you get into mafia games like that, of course, there's going to be lots of treachery and lots of bullshit and lots of that. Lots of spoilery stuff for sure.
Yeah. So, basically, this the last game had a pretty good variety of missions, I'd say. Like, a lot of them were just shoot these people, but you still needed to get there. And this game, it's here's these people, because there's 2 in each borough. So here's these people that you need to kill so that you can kill the big guy, so that you can make him work for you or something like that.
Okay, so just a simple gang war expansion mechanic.
Yes. So that, and how you go about that is, well, you go to different places, and the places crawl with enemies, and you can basically try to stealth your way through, or you can just shoot your way through, but it's not really, it's not good to do that. But the thing is that it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, your objective can be to burn like papers. Your objective can be to shut off an illegal operation. Your objective can be to steal drugs. What you're doing is still the same. Like, sure, there's the additional thing of after killing the guys around it, you just go and set a crate on fire or something. Sure, but the thing that stays in the same in everything is that it's just a lot of enemies in one building or around the building, and you have to sneak through them and kill them, and then do the objective or do the objective through killing them.
Right, that was definitely one of the major flaws I heard, was everything in that game is either racing with the cars or shooting people, and that's it.
I don't know. I don't do races in video games aside from racing games, and that's far and few in between.
Yeah.
Like, races in non-racing games are always bad. Well, not always, but exaggerated generalization, always.
Yeah, I get you. GTA races could be entertaining if they let you take any car you wanted.
You cut out.
GTA races online could be entertaining if they let you take any car you wanted.
You cut out again on the same spot, so never mind.
I'm just saying GTA Online should give you every car races so that you can have fucking bulldozers racing against little Harley Davidson motorcycles, racing against, SUVs, racing against big-ass dump trucks.
Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, so aside from that, you also have... Did I just describe
Twisted Metal?
Maybe.
Yeah. I miss Twisted Metal.
It was actually a pretty fun game.
Twisted Metal was a lot of fun back then. Yeah, Twisted Metal was a load of fun back in the day. Did you play Black?
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% certain.
I put a ton of time into Black. That one was the classic Twisted Metal to me. That and Head On the PSP, back when the PSP was a thing that existed.
Rest in peace.
It still exists. You're talking to it.
I wonder if PSP ever played the PSP.
I actually did not. That was not something I ever got.
Insert DJ Khaled meme.
Another one.
Yeah, why does that guy generate so many damn memes?
These are excellent questions.
Because it's nice. Because he's not actually a good rapper. The
Yeah, back to Mafia. I actually, aside from the the gameplay not being all that interesting, there's also like little things that they changed and took out that I don't like the lockpicking. I enjoy a good lockpicking system. The second game had a pretty good one, in my opinion, because it was a lot like Avonlea Sleeping Dogs has.
There is a game that I'm thinking of that had a lockpicking system that I actually enjoyed. Yeah, along similar lines, where it's like, oh sweet, I get to lockpick a door. It wasn't Fallout or Skyrim, that's for sure. But it was some.
You know what's funny?
What
is that? I actually didn't mind Fallout's lockpick system. It's probably the first lockpick system that I ever used, so that's probably why I actually kind of enjoy it. But even though Skyrim's system is the exact same, I hate it.
Because in Fallout, you almost never have to do it, and in Skyrim, it's fucking everywhere.
But yeah, so in the second game, it was so you needed to push up the different pins, and then they fell down, and you needed to stop them when in the right place. In this game, lockpicking is you press X or the equivalent of, so freaking square on PS4. I don't know how I don't know this. The only freaking layout that I don't actually remember is the freaking Nintendo one, but whatever. So you press X or square, and then it goes into this like circle, like half circle, that where you need to move your bar, so it turns green, and when it turns green, you go into the freaking Assassin's Creed Unity lockpicking system, freaking with included delay between when you press the button and when it actually stops, so you can actually miss it even till you pressed it in the bar.
So you start with the Dead Space 2 hacking minigame.
Yes, and then it turns into the Assassin's Creed Unity lockpicking minigame.
Alright, just combine all the shitty hacking lockpicking minigames.
Yeah, and so that's not fun. And you need to do it basically everywhere.
You remember how in GTA 5, one of Franklin's big abilities, what makes him neat, is that where Trevor or Michael, when they steal a car, have to smash the window, Franklin could just quietly lockpick it? And you remember how Franklin would do it instantly? You didn't have to do a stupid minigame?
I don't know. I like lockpicking minigames, but I'm weird.
Well, it depends. Like, the Skyrim one, I think, is done way too often. There is one that I remember enjoying, because it was the one where you press the pins up. And several games have done that, and most of the time I haven't enjoyed that, but there's one game that actually did it, that I liked it. But other than that, I can't think of one.
But yeah, you actually, now that you say it, in Mafia 2, that was a thing and it's not a thing in 3, I don't think, where Vito could actually lockpick cars instead of smashing in the windows. And people still noticed that it still took time, but it was safer than just smashing in the window.
Well, yeah, I can believe Trevor being stupid enough to smash the window. Michael, it's more of a like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. So, in freaking 3, they also have, pseudo Ubisoft Towers.
Of course. That was the...
So instead of... Go ahead.
Who published Mafia 3?
2K.
2K, okay, I was about to say, like, my mind completely went blank. For a little bit I thought Bethesda, but then I knew that was wrong.
So yeah, with the Ubisoft Towers, you need to lockpick them, of course.
Oh, good.
And, yeah, and after that is just one animation. And the thing is that to be able to hack the Ubisoft Towers, you need to pick up these transmitter things, and you need like 3 of them for one.
Isn't it the 1950s?
Yes.
I don't know if tech was advanced enough for that yet.
So, and what they do is that they reveal collectibles, of course, and they also show you where the enemies are because, freaking, whatever.
They've all got radios, all of them.
Yes.
Well, if you pick a fight with a civilian and the civilian turns aggressive, does it pick up a radio?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The radio in his pocket goes active.
Yeah.
All right.
So... No, it's a big phone that they didn't have. But what else was I going to say? Right. The stealth kills are nice. They weren't a thing in 2. It was one thing that I missed in 2, so I like those. But it's like not enough good to weigh out the bad, in my opinion.
Oh, I do have a question. Is it Mafia 3? Don't you actually get to fight the Ku Klux Klan at one point in that game?
If you do, then I'm not at that point yet, because I need to freaking go through like 15 boroughs of doing the same shit over and over and over again. Huh. So I kind of have dropped the game at this point, because I was like, okay, maybe after they introduce all of the like underbosses that you need to team up with, and make it so they actually control the boroughs that you want them to control, then maybe they will introduce some new gameplay mechanic, or maybe actually do like story-based missions like the second game did. Nope, just freaking shut out onto the freaking open world, and you go and do the same shit over again.
Huh. Could have swore there was a part of the game where you fought the Klan, but what else did you do this past week other than For Honor and Mafia 3?
Right. Well, we played freaking MKX. That did happen. Yeah. And then I also continued freaking My Hero Academia, because I quit for last week, or the past 2 weeks actually. So I just brushed up on that. Yeah. And not much happened. it's starting to be a bit more like Naruto, like even more like Naruto, but with the whole flashbacks and stuff. But me quitting where I quit actually made it better because I was like, wait, is that guy still missing? And then I see the guy.
You quit before the Sasuke retrieval arc.
No, I quit after the Sasuke retrieval arc. The thing is that they flash back to when the arc started. So they flash back and I'm like, wait, is that guy still missing? Are they actually doing that? And then I see the guy in the competition.
Huh.
It was just a funny thing to me because, yeah. I think that's all I've done. Yeah, more or less.
Alright. Well, on my end, I've done a bit more TV show watching than I have video game playing. I'll start with my character action game of the week. So I ran through Ghost Rider, which was a kind of strange game that came out on the PS2. It's very, very similar to Devil May Cry, and I hear God of War, but I've never actually played through any of the original God of War games. It doesn't seem to have God of War's whole thing of literally every attack has ridiculous area of effect things on it. Because there are plenty of times where I'm smacking one dude and get hit in the ass by another dude, and God of War gives you way too big of area of effects to do that, from what I know. But it's got the God of War thing of the stupid thing of once an enemy gets to low enough health, you can do an execution on them, and it, most of the time, like, it's all really weird, lame stuff. Some of them are, just Ghost Rider does a Dempsey roll on the guy and then shoots him in the head with a shotgun, right? And most of the ones on the smaller minions are just backdrops. Like, he just does a wrestling backdrop to the dude, and that's it. That's how he kills him. The deadliest move in wrestling, yeah. And they did do a neat thing where, they did a lot of, like, it's rough to say. They did a neat thing with dividing it into hand-to-hand attacks and chain attacks, and the chain attacks being lighter, quicker, and covering a bigger area, and your fists generally covering a smaller area but dealing a lot more damage and being kind of slower. So they set up at least a dichotomy there. The dodge button is incredible. Like, there is a certain great feeling that comes with playing a game and testing the dodge and immediately seeing that it's a damn good dodge. Like, it's a feeling I'm sure you guys know from the games you've played. But, like, the feeling when the dodge is responsive, when it covers a good distance, and notably, of all things, when you can cancel other moves into the dodge. Like, having a good dodge is just a very strong improvement on a game, no matter what, I think. And Ghost Rider has an absurdly good dodge that nearly anything can be canceled into it. So that's all very nice. And the game controls like amazingly, especially for a PS2 game. Like, it's weird because it's very, very, very obviously low budget in lots of ways. But the dev team put a lot into making sure the controls are very responsive. They're very tight. So that's all very nice. The gameplay structure has some flaws, though, inevitably. So there's a thing I'm sure you guys have noticed anytime you've picked up, like, just some generic beat-em-up or character action game is, you look at the character's move list, and he's got a fuck ton of moves, and you don't really know what differentiates them from the other, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, you'll go into a game and it'll be XYY, XXY, XX circle, right? Or, I'm just mixing up controls here, but it doesn't matter.
It's XXXY, XXXX, things like that.
Yeah, and the thing is that
XXX Pussy Destroyer XXX.
Yeah, and the thing is with those kinds of games is that you figure out one or two that deal the most damage, and you figure out one or two that are the most fast, and you use those, and you don't bother to use any others. Like, where the move list is too big, so now there's a ton of moves that are just pointless, and no one would bother to use. Ghost Rider's got that going on strong. Like, coming over from Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry had a good example of every move that is in the game has a clear and obvious purpose. Coming over from Darksiders, most of the moves in a given character's moveset have purpose. But even then, like, a notable thing with the first Darksiders was your character has two launchers that are pretty much identical. So there are cases like that. Ghost Rider has it going on really strong where you're going to figure out very quickly that there is one particular string that will kill the guy in one hit, Guaranteed. Doesn't matter who it is. Is it a fucking mini-boss enemy? Is it a regular enemy? Whoever. It'll kill them all. And you figure out one that's got a good area of effect, and you figure out one that covers a good distance. You figure out which Ghost Rider's stinger is set to. Because every fucking character action game has to have a stinger. And once you've got that figured out, you're pretty much set in terms of actual strings. You can sometimes do launchers, but, you know. It does have, like, a style meter, in the same way Devil May Cry does, which is great, because style meters encourage you to not play like a fucking chode and actually mix your moves up. But because the game has so many damn moves, if you really need to mix up your move variety, just mash out random combinations and it'll give you a new move. And there's also something to be said about, like, this one's just me going, Devil May Cry fanboy. But there's something to be said about how Devil May Cry handles the inputs. Even if every Ghost Rider move had different functions and had very clearly different uses, none of them, they all have inputs that get really samey. So even if you like the move that's on X, Y, Y, and the move that's on X, B, B, and then the move that's on A, Y, A, you're going to get them mixed up with every other move because every move in the game is like a certain string of 3 or 4 of those face button inputs. Whereas Devil May Cry generally has things set to directions instead, or really weird ones like timing. Like, the thing about timing is it's really awkward to get used to, but once you get used to it, you're going to remember that move is on that input. Because I can get back into Devil May Cry at any time and be like, oh, well, I remember all these inputs. I go back to Ghost Rider. Every time I've played this Ghost Rider on PS2, I'm like, all right, time to look at the moveset again, figure out which ones I actually like. And to put it simply, Ghost Rider just doesn't have any fun moves. He doesn't have anything that's really unique. They're all just different variations of punching somebody in the face or slapping them with a chain. And while he has stuff that's like, the obligatory stuff, like he gets a dive kick, he gets, an attack that causes a fire geyser, he gets one that causes a fire tornado, right? But they aren't different enough, because they're all just basically different variations of punching, it feels like. None of them have unique properties. In Devil May Cry, you can figure out stuff like, oh, this does launchers. This one launches them across the screen, so you don't want to use it if you want to continue your combo. And there's certain moves that I can use this mid-combo to keep the combo going for forever. And I don't know, that's kind of technical stuff, I think, for people who've played lots of character action games, so I won't get too much farther into that. But I want to say, boy, is this game low budget. The graphics actually look incredible. The level design looks damn great. Way better than you would expect. But the story is non-existent. You can tell the story is low budget when they use the Max Payne comic panels. When it's and it's just narrators, shitty voiceover narrators, and it's all some low-budget voice actors you don't recognize, right? There's no Steve Blum or Yuri Lowenthal here. It's all Jim from, the neighbor's uncle, right?
Some developer that they put in a closet for 2 minutes to record the lines.
Yeah, that's always the question that comes up when you play low-budget games of, how much of the voice cast here is just the developers? Or the guy they got from marketing to come down, Because the guy from marketing, you can hide a little bit better, because the devs might have to do interviews, but the guy from marketing doesn't. Right, so, yeah, and the story is mostly non-existent, because it's like, imagine the most generic Ghost Rider story possible. It starts off, hey, the devil has pulled Ghost Rider into hell. Ghost Rider beats up everybody in hell. And the devil comes to Ghost Rider and says, hey, there's not a lot of demons in hell. There's not a lot
I thought you were going to say the devil pulls Ghost Rider into hell. Ghost Rider beats up the devil.
Not yet. Not yet, don't worry. But the Ghost Rider pulls the devil pulls the Ghost Rider into hell. The Ghost Rider beats up, whatever. The devil says, hey, there's not a lot of demons in hell lately. And Ghost Rider's like, yeah. And the devil says, that's because they all are running around on Earth. Also, if there are too many demons running around on Earth, God's going to come down to hell and kick my ass. So Ghost Rider, go clean up all the demons on Earth for me, will ya? So then you go to Earth and you clean up all the demons that are running around on Earth. So yeah, it's just kind of the most generic, story you could imagine. It also exists in an awkward spot where it's kind of trying to fit in with a Nicolas Cage movie. Because in all of the comic shots, the devil is represented by the guy who played the devil in the Ghost Rider movie. It's very clearly just pictures of the actor from the movie in the devil costume.
Thought you were going to say the devil is just Nicolas Cage.
Oh, they couldn't get Nicolas Cage's likeness, though. Because Nicolas Cage, generic white dude. Like Ben Affleck, right? Genericest white dude you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fitting, because in the comics, Johnny Blaze is just a generic white dude. And the love interest, Roxanne, who is played by, I forget who in the movie? The chick from Training Day?
I have no idea.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to look her up while I continue talking. But the chick is a Hispanic brunette woman. And even though I forget the actress's name, she is a fairly famous actress, at least for the 2000s. You know, that 2000s era of actors, actresses, they were all pretty faces and no talent.
Halle Berry?
Yeah. Halle Berry, Jessica Biel, who's the other Jessica? The one that played Invisible Woman?
Alba.
Jessica Alba, yeah, I hate her.
Wasn't she in like a freaking, like a Bosch commercial or something like that, where she was like, Germans are... like, Germans make better stuff.
I have no idea what you were talking about, Addy, but it's probably the truth. Eva Mendes, right. Right, so Eva Mendes was in that, and she played the love interest. She is a Hispanic woman with the brunette hair, and whenever the love interest shows up in the game, she is a blonde white woman. So it's like, okay, well, I guess they couldn't get that likeness either. So it's real weird like that. But again, the gameplay is really tight, even though the structure... Whoever was coding did a damn good job. Whoever was designing dropped the fucking ball. You know? Whenever you get those moments. Like, the gameplay feels smooth as hell. Whoever thought it up is an idiot. Or at least wasn't trying. The Devil Trigger equivalent is shit. Ghost Rider does slightly higher damage, and he can do a command grab that spins his entire meter for nothing. And it's one of those games where they just gave him a bunch of abilities to use meter for, and none of them were implemented with any real thought. You know? Like, oh, this uses a chunk of meter to execute X amount of damage. And it's not anything like... It's one of those things where, like, the supers are very poorly designed in that, you know, you can tell which ones are useless and which ones are useful. So, I mean, from a gameplay design perspective, yeah, it's a big fuck up. From a story design perspective, it might as well not be there. But the level design is incredible. The graphics aren't damn amazing for a PS2 game. And the control, it just feels good to play. So I would not expect to have from a low budget, you know. This is the kind of game, I'm sure neither of you have heard of it before I've talked about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I might have known about it just because, like, I do recall all the marketing stuff they had for the Ghost Rider film.
Right, this game belongs in a bargain bin, right?
Right.
But it is way better than any of the other bargain bin stuff I've ever played. Like, it feels better than it feels better than it had any right to. Whoever coded the game, whoever made it as responsive as it is, hopefully they went on to greener pastures, and hopefully no one else on that team did.
The only bargain bin game I played on the PS2 was freaking Backyard Wrestling.
Oh man, well, so did I. I don't know if that counts as bargain bin, because how much money did they have to shell out for the celebrities that were in that game?
I wouldn't know.
I mean, admittedly, it wasn't big celebrities. It was mostly, you know, Sandman, ICP.
No, that's the second game. Sandman wasn't in the first one.
Ah, right. Andrew WK was in it, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, those are two things. Like, if Andrew WK or ICP is in something, I don't want to be anywhere near it. They were both in that game.
Who the hell is Andrew WK?
The corpse that they mounted up on stage for E3, the Bethesda E3 show.
Didn't watch Bethesda's E3. I hate Bethesda. You forget.
Good for you. But yeah, phew. Ghost Rider, you know, on it feels weird to say, I was happier playing Ghost Rider than I was playing Darksiders.
Yeah.
Because the first Darksiders wasn't fully character action. It was also trying to be Zelda. the second Darksiders wasn't fully character action. It was also trying to be like, I don't know. What's a good RPG to compare Darksiders 2 to?
What's the one with the Monado?
Xenoblade?
Yes, maybe that.
Yeah, Xenoblade might be. I don't think any of us have played Xenoblade, but let's make that comparison anyways.
What could possibly go wrong?
Hey, look, I'll be playing Smash Ultimate eventually, and Shulk's in that, so it'll be close enough.
Yeah!
Alright, so the next on the character action docket for me is going to be probably Bayonetta. Which I...
So, do we...
Yeah.
Do we do the thing then, or do we do the do, or...
No, we don't do the do, because you do the do eventually, and when we do the do, we gonna need me to... When we do the do, I want me to have done the do beforehand. Because...
Do.
Yeah, because Bayonetta also is a game with a hilariously large moveset, and I want to be able to at least give you some tips. And also because Bayonetta is the kind of game that when I tried to play it on my own before, I got crushed by the first boss. So, you know, I want to be there to prevent a train wreck from happening on recording.
I don't think it'll help.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Bayonetta is supposed to be the true Devil May Cry sequel. Because the first Devil May Cry was made by Hideki Kamiya, but Hideki Kamiya had nothing to do with the Devil May Crys that came afterwards. Right?
Yeah.
But Bayonetta is made by Hideki Kamiya, and he has directly said that Bayonetta was his intended, direction for the Devil May Cry series. Bayonetta is replacement Dante for Hideki Kamiya. And the thing about... I've played the first Devil May Cry, and the number one thing I can tell you about the first Devil May Cry is it seems fucking difficult as hell, unless you know that every enemy and every boss has a very clear weakness. Not a clear weakness, but a very strong weakness.
The Reaper.
Yeah. Basic. Oh my god. Well, no, actually, you're super wrong about that. The Ripper is not the weakness of most bosses. The Ripper is the weakness of everyone but the bosses in Dead Space 2.
Yeah, I know, that's the joke.
Yeah, we've seen that in action.
I don't even know if that episode's up yet, or you know.
Oh, it's super up. No.
Is it?
Wait, it probably is. I think it went up this morning. I think it did. Which would mean yesterday morning, since this podcast is going up tomorrow, but whatever. Right, so... Yeah, going through Bayonetta, I'll run through Bayonetta, and after that, maybe we do the do. And Pink will get to see the glory that is the opening cutscene of Bayonetta.
Perfect.
That will always be one of the memories that sticks out in my mind of... We started recording Bayonetta before. We sat through that opening cutscene, and I was like, okay, Pink needs to be here for this. Alright, so other than that, let's see. I didn't do much in gaming. I put some more time into Total Warhammer 2, you know, old news. In other news, water is wet. And
Terry Funk is still wrestling.
Yep, Terry Funk is still wrestling, believe it or not. Yeah, it's still shocking me every day, man. Every day. Let's see, I'm still back painting miniatures, and, oh yeah, I watched through the entirety of Season 2 and Season 3 of Better Call Saul. Actually, I didn't watch through the entirety, I just was there for the occasional episode and the entire back half of Season 3. But nonetheless, it's a damn good show. It amps up. I remember last week I complained about, you know, the lawyer storyline could be a little boring. And it picks up. It picks up in Season 3 pretty solidly. I will say that its connection to Breaking Bad is a little bit weird. Because legitimately, there's a member of my family who has adamantly refused to watch Breaking Bad for several years now, and we've just now got him to start watching it thanks to Better Call Saul. And let me tell you, it's a real fucking, you know, shock to the system going from Better Call Saul, where it's all courtroom drama, and whenever it goes to the drug deals, like, no one ever actually dies. It's just a lot of, you know, folks eyeballing each other and threatening each other, and lots of dudes with big shoulders, you know, trying to stand tall. And, you know, fronting on each other or whatever. And then you go to Breaking Bad, and it's like, fucking let the bodies hit the floor. Like, there's a character in Better Call Saul whose entire character arc can be summed up as, I'm a Vietnam veteran. I don't want to kill anybody. I don't want to ever take a life again. And the person, my family are like, we love this guy. And we went over to Breaking Bad. Legitimately, we started midway through the series because we wanted to skip the boring seasons, I guess. We started with an episode Legitimately, the episode opens on that same character from Better Call Saul fucking killing 5 dudes in this crazy John Wick sequence. It's like, well, yeah, that character changes a lot between series. Trust me on that one. But yeah, Better Call Saul, pretty damn good. Breaking Bad has aged exceptionally well for us to be going through that again. And that's probably what we're going to hear about from me on the next couple of weeks as well. More me talking about, oh yeah, we're going through Breaking Bad again. Hey, it's a damn good series. Lots of people die that didn't deserve it. Lots of people are just useless idiots.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever watched Breaking Bad, but have you ever noticed how lots of people think Walt is the biggest badass ever?
Yeah.
You've probably heard Ted complain about this before. Those people do not understand Breaking Bad. Because Walt is an idiot, a scumbag, and a coward. But he gets the occasional cool tough guy moment of, you know, say my name, damn right, you know, all that. But all the shit you guys don't see in the reaction gifs is mostly Walt screwing over good people to save himself trouble, or being unwilling to admit something that is very blatantly his fault.
And looking for Rachel.
Who?
You did your Batman voice.
Oh, well, yeah, that's intentional. Because, hey, here's the thing about Walt being a scumbag, coward, shithead. Walt sure loves to act like a tough guy when it'll suit his ego. Whenever you see those gifs of those moments, it's mostly Walt trying to fill up his ego. That gif you see of the, you know, say my name, or the, what's the other one? I am the one who knocks. Those are the big moments of Walt trying to act like he's the big boss when he is very much not. So, yeah, that's Breaking Bad. It's wonderful.
Not using the I'm the one who knocks meme for Mike Knox was his biggest lost chance. I'm Mike Knox, and it's just the same thing with him in the freaking frame.
Well, that's killed the podcast.
End it now.
Yeah.
Just kill it.